Welcome to Drafto. This is an intuitive app designed to help you draft and compile a special leave petition with minimal effort end-to-end. You start with a blank template, create fully formatted Word documents in one click, and end with a ready-to-file PDF paperbook. So let's get started. The app launches into a login page. Once you enter your credentials, you are welcomed by a clean interface with 5 self-explanatory tabs corresponding to the various parts of an SLP. The Preliminary tab, the Petition tab, the Applications tab, the Listing Pro Forma tab, and the Checklist tab. You can move between these tabs very easily, and each tab gives you a structured template to fill in all required details. We will explore these tabs in detail.
Before we begin, let us quickly go through settings, available at the top right. In Appearance settings, you can customize the appearance of the Drafto interface. You can toggle between light mode and dark mode seamlessly. You can also select the font type and size which would apply to the Drafto interface. Separately, you can select the font type and size which would apply to Drafto's text fields in which the user enters their input. You can always restore defaults if you want to start afresh. This does not affect the font used in your SLP paperbook. That font can be changed from the formatting settings. Here, you can set the font type, font size, line spacing and paragraph spacing. For quoted text in your list of dates, synopsis, grounds, etc., you can decide to keep the original line spacing or switch to a more compact single line spacing. Oh, also, you will be using the highlight tool in Drafto every now and then, so this setting allows you to decide whether the highlights are carried to the Word document and the PDF paperbook. You might want to turn this off while generating PDF paperbooks. In Workspace settings, you can decide the default view for the Petition tab for new projects. As we will see, the splitter view arranges the list of dates, grounds, and synopsis side by side for you to look at them simultaneously while working, while the navigation view shows them one at a time, allowing you to use the maximum space on your screen. You can pick your preference. In these settings, you can also decide how long notifications stay on your screen, which should ideally not be for very long, and the time duration after which your Drafto project autosaves to avoid any data loss. Usually, 60 seconds is sufficient, but feel free to prescribe a shorter or longer duration. Now come the paperbook settings, which allow you to fine-tune your SLP output. For example, you can decide how big your annexure labels should appear on the first page of every annexure. You can go up to font size 24. As a beta feature, Drafto also allows you to upload your signatures into the application, which it automatically places at every relevant place in the SLP during paperbook generation. Drafto can also stamp your annexures as true copy along with your signatures, either at the bottom left or bottom center of each page. Make sure to check the box to provide a white background behind the true copy stamp, so that the stamp remains clearly visible. You can also decide the exact threshold at which your SLP splits up into multiple volumes, with a neat index for each volume, because the registry at the Supreme Court does not allow bulky special leave petitions to go through as a single volume. In user defaults, you can set your name and code if you don't want to enter it separately in each draft. Myo is Drafto's AI assistant which plugs your existing Claude subscription into Drafto through Claude's command line interface or CLI. If you agree to the terms of security, privacy, and liability, you can check this box to enable Myo. Drafto will automatically check if Claude CLI is installed on your system. If not, simply head over to Installation below and click this button to install it. You will be asked to authenticate your Claude account once in your web browser. And that's it, just relaunch Drafto and you're good to start using Myo. In Save Locations, you can tell Drafto where to save your files by default. This includes your Word files, your final PDF paperbooks, and your main Drafto project files. If you are collaborating with your legal team or chamber via cloud folders such as Google Drive or OneDrive, you can save Drafto files in those folders too. Drafto includes overwrite protection to prevent simultaneous editing conflicts, but we still recommend caution and ensuring that 2 team members are not editing the same project at the same time. The shortcut settings are not really settings. They are a guide which you can return to if you ever forget the keyboard shortcuts for Drafto's wonderful, intuitive interface. And finally, the Support tab shows you some data about the number of paperbooks and Word documents you have generated using Drafto, which is really the only data that Drafto collects from you. Allows you to check for and install updates, browse the legal documentation which you have accepted during installation, and contact us through our website. That's all. Click Save Settings and you're ready to start drafting your first SLP through Drafto.
Now let us quickly walk through the 5 tabs. The Preliminary tab lets you enter details for Memo of Parties, Impugned Orders, Advocates, and Deponent. In Memo of Parties, by default, you get one side for petitioners and one side for respondents. You can fill name, address, and position in earlier court. You can add rows with the Add Party button right here. As you enter details of parties, the cause title at the top updates automatically. This cause title is used while saving your Drafto project files, your Word documents, and your PDF paperbooks. Drafto also supports the drafting of the Memo of Parties in case of a common order where multiple petitions were disposed of together. In that situation, you can add separate party groups for each disposed petition, which then appear correctly on the first page of the Special Leave Petition. In Impugned Orders, you choose whether the SLP is civil or criminal, select the order type, enter the order date, select the High Court from the drop-down, enter the case number, and add a one-line effect of the order. You can also add a second impugned order, for example when both a main matter order and a review order are under challenge. Just click Add another impugned order. If the impugned order was passed by a single judge and no intracourt appeal lies, you can give the required declaration through the checkboxes. An optional text box is also provided for Para 1b, which you may fill up, for instance, where the parties to the SLP are different from the parties to the litigation before the High Court. The Advocates and Deponent sections are straightforward. If the petition is drawn or settled by someone other than the advocate on record filing it, you can provide those details using checkboxes. While entering deponent details, make sure to fill the present location of the deponent, especially when it differs from the address mentioned in the petition.
Now the main tab, that is the Petition tab. Remember that this tab can be viewed in Splitter View, which allows viewing multiple components side by side for easy reviewing and drafting, or the Navigation view for a more comfortable and spaced out experience. You can easily toggle the current view from here, besides setting the default view and settings as we discussed earlier. Let us first cover Synopsis, Grounds, Questions of Law, and Interim Relief. These sections are simple text or table-based inputs where you can type and format content. You can add as many grounds or questions as needed. Don't forget to use the formatting toolbar at the top, which allows you to apply all the standard formatting styles to your text. It also has an inbuilt quotes format for any verbatim extracts from case law or orders that you might want to place in your draft. Here's a pro tip while drafting grounds, questions of law, or any table-based inputs in Drafto. If you want to insert a new row between existing rows, go to a row and press Ctrl+Space to quickly insert a blank row below. Now see the Interim Relief and Appendix sections. Both sections provide a checkbox that must specifically be checked if you want these components included in the Special Leave Petition. In Appendix, you can either upload a PDF appendix or enter the appendix text manually. You can also specify the act or law whose provisions are included. Now let us come to List of Dates. Like other sections, rows can be edited, formatted, rearranged, added, and inserted in between using Ctrl+Space. The key feature here is the Annex button, which is a highlight in Drafto. Use it against any date row to add annexures. For each annexure, you can select copy type, true copy, typed copy, true and typed copy, translated copy, or true and translated copy. Then add description, date, and any custom text. If the document is an additional document, meaning it was not on the record of the court below, tick the Additional Document checkbox. This matters because Drafto auto-numbers annexures differently for standard annexures and additional documents. You can add multiple annexures to the same date row by using the Add Annexure button. If you feel like adding an annexure which has substantially the same description as an earlier annexure you have already created, simply click Clone Annexure, and it will allow you to clone an existing annexure description. When you choose True and Typed Copy or True and Translated Copy, attach both files using the clip icon. If attaching files at this stage feels cumbersome, you can skip attachments now and upload them later on the single consolidated screen during PDF generation. That concludes the Petition tab.
Now to the Applications tab. Applications are of 3 types. The first kind of applications are configurable, That is, those which are included only if you check the Include checkbox on the top right-hand side. This includes the application for exemption from filing a certified copy of the impugned order, and the application for exemption for surrendering, which is included in criminal SLPs only. For the application for exemption from filing a certified copy of the impugned order, you must specify whether you have applied for a certified copy. If yes, annex the receipt from the relevant High Court section or branch. If no, provide the reason for seeking exemption without filing either the certified copy or receipt of application. The second type of applications, which are also user configurable, are custom applications. You can create any number of custom applications, define the title, enter grounds, prayers, and annexures, and that's it. You can see the contents of your applications in real time. The third type of applications are auto-included applications. This includes condonation of delay. Delay days are auto-computed based on dates entered in preliminary, but you still need to enter grounds explaining delay and attach supporting documents if required. The application for exemption from filing official translations is automatically added when any annexure is marked as translated copy or true and translated copy. Drafto auto-drafts this, so no extra grounds are needed. However, you're free to add some grounds to be added to Para 2 of the application, if you want. The application for additional documents is also auto-generated when annexures are marked as additional documents. You may optionally add paragraphs to explain the reasons for filing this application, but from the app perspective, this is not mandatory. That concludes the Applications tab.
The listing proforma and checklist tabs are self-explanatory. Fill the required fields, and Drafto will generate both in the correct format. The checklist is auto-populated from other tabs, but please review everything once before filing, because ultimately the final responsibility remains with you. This concludes our walkthrough of the tabs. And now on to the main stuff. What does Drafto generate for you?
To showcase Drafto's generation abilities, I will be using a pre-filled special leave petition project. You might want to generate your petition drafts as Word documents to share it with your client or legal team. To generate, go to the DOC button at the top and select which Word drafts you want to generate. You can generate all drafts or only selected ones. On successful generation, which takes only 1 or 2 seconds, your default folder for Word documents will launch on your screen, and you can easily see the Word documents created by Drafto. These documents are perfectly formatted and in the special leave petition templates set by the Supreme Court. Notice that if you just want to quickly generate only the affidavits and vacalatnamas, for example when you want to quickly send documents to a client for execution, here's a quick button that allows you to do that. Make sure to click this only after you've entered basic details in the preliminary tab, which are required for the affidavits. When you are ready for final filing output, open the PDF dialog. Drafto will show you a warning if it finds that you have not filled any essential field. You can choose to ignore the warning. Once you're inside the PDF generation dialog, you will see a single consolidated screen showing all paperbook components and upload slots, including impugned orders, executed affidavits, executed vacalatnama, memo of parties before the High Court, and annexures not already attached earlier. These are neatly divided into 3 collapsible segments, each showing the status of completion. Everything that you need to put your paperbook together is right here. At this stage, you can upload everything in one go, or have a clerk or junior complete uploads and then click go. Drafto then generates a filing-ready PDF. The final PDF is fully paginated, labeled, and bookmarked, with index and list of dates blanks filled automatically. All you need to do is upload it to the filing portal. Here's a full preview of the mock SLP generated using Drafto.
Thank you for watching. We hope you will enjoy using Drafto and will find the time to provide us with your valuable feedback. Have a great day ahead.